Okay, go.
That my father was working for in a gas station, and the owner of the gas station had competition. He said there was another gas station across the street. That's what my dad mentioned. And the gas station owner of the one across the street was owned by Clyde Barrow's father, the notorious criminal cop Bonnie and Clyde. So he was a scary guy. My dad said. I mean, he looked like he could kill you just looking at you. He goes, and he was really big and creepy. So the Clyde Barrow's father would start yelling at the gas station owner where my dad worked at, telling him, "You're stealing my customers. You're a thief, and I'm going to kill you." And would come out once in a while with a gun, and then the owner of the gas station my father worked for, the owner would pull out a gun. So every once in a while they'd shoot like each other's window out, or they would never shoot at the gas pump, but they would shoot at the ground. They'd shoot at like the stand that holds the oil, that they would change oil, and he would shoot at the ground at the owner that my dad worked for. So these guys were always bickering, and then sometimes they would throw. Dad said they would go out and start yelling at each other in front of the customers, and then they would throw blows and run over to get their guns and point at each other, and once in a while the police came, but after a while the police didn't care if they would kill each other. That's what my dad said, because these guys were just always fighting. So one day they were really growling. They had been fist fighting on the ground. They run over to their different stations across from each other, and Clyde was yelling, "I'm going to kill you!" And the owner of the gas station that Dad worked for said that owner, the guy he worked for, was waving his gun and everything, and they were starting to shoot. And my father ran into the garage where he worked at and was hiding around, and he bumped into, like, I think it was a barrel, he said, and then there was, the barrel tipped over, and a big box fell out that had ration cards, because this was during World War II when they were starting to ration out gas and food. So apparently the gas ration cards were in there because people had to pay with their ration card and get it stamped or something. And what he was doing is giving people, the owner of the gas station my dad was working for, would, I don't know how he did business. Dad didn't really know how, but he found the ration cards. He had bumped into it, and he says, like, it was too dangerous for him to be working there anymore. He says, these guys are going to come in, and, these guys threw out guns, they threw knives, they'd pull out knives at each other, they'd pull out their wrenches and crowbars or whatever from, to fix vehicles, and they'd want to beat each other to death. And they did fight all the time. So he said, "I'm out of here." And after bumping into the ration cards, he says, my dad needs gas. I think I'm going to take some ration cards. What the heck with these guys? I'm leaving. So he took a bunch of the ration cards and left the job, because these guys were going to kill each other and anybody else around them, especially when they were shooting and just missing the gas pumps. And he was around 13, 14, because kids were allowed to work at that time. And my dad was just probably about 5'2", weighed probably about 110 pounds, and was always doing work with people, and said, "I'm out of here. I'm too young to die." He goes, think about a war, or World War II, and they're having a war in other countries, and my dad says, "I'm going to get shot here at home." So he left, and he took a bunch of the ration cards and gave them out to his parents. And yeah, he would run into a bunch of different kind of black market stuff. So he was a naughty boy, my dad. but he stole them from them, that they had stolen them. So I thought it was always real funny, and just say that he couldn't forget the man across the street because his son, being Clyde Barrow,
Yeah.
the gangster, was just like, the man was notorious, his son was notorious. He said their whole family was bad.